He's not a child. He may look like a child.
Wait, what? What's up, guys? It's your boy Evan, and we're here for another theory reaction. I mean, I had no idea that, honestly, I had no idea that the first reaction that I did for a theory that is the cabbage guy would blow up. I had no idea that that was going to blow up, and I got comments that I should react to the theorizer with regards to the Mort theory, and I'm actually interested to check it out and see what this theory is about, because I know it's gonna be linked to something or lots of whole different things as per other theories that I have watched with Alex Bill's videos. And yeah, stay tuned. I'm working on reacting to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yes, I have watched it before. I've watched it a dozen times, but this is one of those shows that are so good that it's really good that it has that rewatchability factor, and Avatar: The Last Airbender has it. So I don't care. I really don't care if you're gonna be like, oh, but you've watched the. I'm gonna watch it again. Okay, I love it that much to watch it again. So I'm working on that. It's gonna come soon in the channel, but for this video we're gonna be working on and watching the Mort theory. So let's see what the theorizer have. I've never really watched any of the theorizer's videos before. I'm always used to Alex Bill's videos, so I'm interested to see how the theorizer is going to you know, deliver whatever points that he has, and see how I can be able to be wowed by it, because Alex Bill he has that gift of making you just lose your shit and you're like, damn. So let's see if the theorizer has it. I'm interested. This is my first time reacting to him, and yeah, let's just get into the video. If you like this reaction, like, share, subscribe. We're on the road to 1K subscribers, and you guys are killing it. I appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Without any further ado, let's get right into the reaction. Okay, let's get it. It's 3 hours long as well. Wait, 3 hours?
In short,
2 hours.
Madagascar has an extremely detailed backstory thanks to the spin-off show All Hail King Julian.
I've not watched that.
Were thinking when they made it, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen. I ended up finding a way to tie it back into the entire history of DreamWorks, and as of this moment,
I haven't watched that before.
Spread across around 6 hours. I'm
Damn.
not done either, but the first 6 parts.
Damn.
The basics of what Mort actually is, and that's what this compiled video has in it. If you prefer the playlist, which does go all the way to part 21, I will link it above now. I'd say enjoy.
Okay. I'm fine with this.
A lot of mystery in the most unexpected of places. Scrat is a terraforming alien. Gary is God. The trumpet guy from Shrek 2 is a
Whoa!
You know,
Whoa! 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 Huh? This is okay.
When I discover something that's actually upfront with its peculiarities.
No comments for now.
It's been handed to me on a silver platter, and I couldn't be more grateful to myself. The Madagascar franchise is composed of 4 films, a few TV shows, and the
4?
shorts.
I thought it was 3.
We bear witness to characters of all sorts, including the most deeply disturbing, genetically anomalous piece of nefarious, uncanny terror known to
Mort.
He tries to act cute. And
He is cute.
but he does it maliciously. He knows people see him for what he is, and yet he behaves childlike anyways, just to freak them out.
Mort?
Death, for he is Mort the lemur. But
Nah.
Madagascar Weekly as any sane person should
Nah, I doubt that.
on a regular basis. I couldn't help but notice that there are a number of references in the TV shows that imply him to be wrong in every categorical sense.
Okay.
Thankfully, because of this, I finally have something solid to work with.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Pixar or Disney? Oh, Pixar. Is it Pixar or Disney that owns Penguins of Madagascar? But you guys are really doing your stuff, and I can't lie. I'm liking the theorizer. I'm liking him.
Hello.
Hello.
The theorizer
Nice to meet you.
is certainly not, unless he were to reap my consciousness from my body, which he cannot do. I'm
That was
immunized
funny.
by nature of the fourth wall. Before we establish all he's done, I need to get the first big theory I have out of the way.
Okay.
That being the timeline of the canon. This is going to get very confusing very quickly because of the nature of the Penguins of Madagascar TV series.
Man, I'm slow.
Placement is dubiously considered amongst even the writers
And I'm
themselves.
slow.
They claim that people
But I'm gonna
don't
try.
know about its placement unless they are top-tier animation geeks with way too much time on their hands.
I'm gonna
Well,
try.
I'm neither. I'm an incredibly dedicated, incredibly serious fictional theoretician, and I'm paid
Oh,
to do
okay.
this. Brushing aside minor flashbacks like the intros to Madagascar 2 and the Penguins spin-off movie, or the short
I
films.
can't remember these. I cannot remember these movies.
Like this. All Hail King Julian is a prequel followed by Madagascar the First. The Penguins of
Okay.
Madagascar Nickelodeon show is an outlier. Typically, the rest of the timeline would go Madagascar the Second, Madagascar.
I only know the first Penguin of Madagascar, Penguin of Madagascar, Africa. This one I can't remember. Penguins of Madagascar Nickelodeon show, I remember that. This one I can't remember I can't remember the Madagascar 3. I remember Penguin of Madagascar. I remember this. No.
And then the Penguins movie. But the Penguins of Madagascar TV show takes place in the zoo with King Julian and friends there, meaning at least after film 1. The question then becomes,
Okay.
does it take place long after everything, including the fourth movie, or does it take place between the Madagascar films somehow, or in a
Oh.
parallel universe variant of where films 2 or 3 should be? It's tricky because all could work. If option number 1 is the truth, then it means the Penguins quit their spy jobs, and the lemurs quit the circus, and in the far, far future they all exist back in the zoo. If it's somehow between films 2 and 3 or 1 and 2,
Okay.
then it would mean the Penguins and lemurs shunned the zoo gang and temporarily returned without them. The final choice is that they left permanently and stranded them either on Madagascar or mainland Africa, depending on when is more likely. The creators seem mixed on which of these is the truth, but for now, we focus on the characters. These 3 options, however, will come in handy later.
I don't know if
Most
this is
likely
gonna
after everything
make
or
me
parallel
lose some
reality. Now that we've
context
theorized
because
on possible placements
I haven't
of
watched
Penguins'
everything.
spin-off, we move on to the questions surrounding Mort.
Okay.
It is overwhelming, I assure you. First
Let's
of
get
all,
it.
Mort, he's not a child. He may look like a child. He
Wait,
may
what?
sound like a child. He may sound like a child, but he is at minimum 35 to 50. This is no joke. All Hail King Julian
What?
is weird. In fact, so weird that
Mort, nah.
is just beginning. Mort
Nah.
Microcebus lepilahitsura on the outside.
What?
Proves him to be far, far more sinister.
Microcebus, libis, okay.
But that's not all. He's also part bear, part starfish, and no joke, part spider. He also has trace elements in his genome of sand, cacti, copper, and sawdust.
How?
He has a disturbing marriage history. He has not 1, not 2, but 11 ex-wives, and all of them are dead. He is vulnerable and has superior strength due to his delusional and obsessed nature surrounding King Julian's feet. He's a yes man that eats glue, and he's such a quizzical little rat.
Nah, this is too much for me.
Whatever he is immortal, and has the terrifying ability to suck the souls out of similar species, absorbing them into his mind and creating a split personality. Again, a lot to work with. With that said, clearly this will take some time. I recently stretched 5 seconds of
Nah,
trauma
this is
planning during
too
Shrek 2
much.
into a 10-minute depth analysis. This time we have something solid. There is more Mort, there will be more content. This is going to be more of a documentary than a theory, be warned. There's
I'm
more
out.
discussion and analysis.
I'm
here
down
than
for it.
analysis. I am aware that I will have to watch every single episode of Penguins of Madagascar and then every single episode of All Hail King Julian. I foresee that this endeavor could span at least a couple of years, which means
Wow.
I will update you along the way.
2 years, that's...
Mort will likely take a grand total of 15 videos, adding up to 4 hours. If I
Damn.
can condense it properly, of course. Based on my current upload schedule, every 3rd video I post until spring 2022 will be a Mort analysis. The question is, should I do this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you already have because this is 3 years ago.
Room to organize my thoughts because a single notepad clearly won't cut it, and I'll need to invest in 8 cork boards and around 250 meters of twine. The immediate true mystery is...
I like the suspense this is
From what I
building.
understand, there have been a couple of videos discussing Mort and a couple of Reddit posts.
I really like the
Also,
video,
for fear
the
of
suspense.
conclusion, and I don't know how serious or non-serious those discussions are to begin with. With that said, I can organize a battle plan for this miraculous hit piece. This
Okay.
is part 1, which means part 2 and 3 will also share the theme of highlighting evidence, with mini theories along the way. I will spend the rest of this video looking at Mort's oddities within the Madagascar movies, and then spend video number 2 looking at him in Penguins, finally topping up the first trilogy with video 3, his strangeness in the prequel series. The second trilogy, videos 4, 5, and 6 would then need to begin cross-connecting the clues and formulating more major theories.
And I
from the
haven't
smaller
watched
ones. I'll
these,
probably spend
the
one video on
All
his
Hail
Julian
King
obsession,
Julian
one video
one.
on his wives, and one video on his soul-sucking immortal and impossible genome. Videos 7, 8, and 9 have a more strict plan for. They are going to be composed of past theories I am integrating in. 10, 11, and 12 I am going to connect them. I'll spend one video connecting Mort's mysteries to Over the
Okay.
Edge, one connecting them to my Dubois analysis, and one connecting them to a final mystery film, or straight up creating a grand unifying DreamWorks theory from what I've found. Which leaves us with 13, 14, and 15. I'm still debating whether or not I'll actually need the extra hour or extra 3 videos, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. There's also the matter of how this will perform in the YouTube algorithm. Now that you're all prepared for what's to come, we begin with the evidence you'll all be familiar with. Mort, in Madagascar films. In the first movie, we meet him. Mort is a small lemur obsessed with King Julian.
Yep.
And is sort of the opposite of King Julian's actual second-in-command, Maurice.
Maurice, I
Mort
remember
is
him.
used as a test to see how the New York animals will react to lemurs, and is generally hated by his peers. He plays a perfectly fine but intentionally annoying role in film 1. In the sequel, he clings to the plane and behaves oddly. He first parodies the Twilight Zone and then goes flying thousands of feet into the Mozambique Channel. He stubbornly survives and then is chased by a shark all the way to Central Africa, where he ascends a volcano and nearly falls in. The third film follows him joining the gang in the circus, where he, again, plays a lesser role, but he does end up shooting Dubois with a tranquilizer gun. He's dumb
Who's
at times,
Dubois?
emotional at others, and sort of all over the map. This is what makes him questionable. Primarily, what the films are good
I
for
have
is
to watch the
that
movies
Mort
again.
is not mortal. Our dear friend, the French Death, is indestructible.
Oh.
He looks suspicious at first on the
Really?
plane because it's probably one of his alternate personalities. More on that later. He rips it apart and causes the engines to fail, crashing the plane soon after. When he presumably flips back to the dumb old Mort persona, falls off, sails thousands of feet into the Indian Ocean, and doesn't die. He is pursued by a juvenile great white shark and evades it, though it desperately chases him on land as well. Mort doesn't die, which is the first crucial chunk to the theory.
Okay.
At this point, can only
Okay.
evolve. With that said, it can only get more insane from here, so should I? He's such an enigma that while writing this, I was convulsing like a deranged artichoke. Speaking of the Soviet Union, it won't be long before I integrate Nana into this dissertation. Again, it'll probably be in the latter half.
I
of the
remember
series.
her.
Everyone make sure you're caught up.
I remember her from the first episode.
Theories, just in case. For now, though, subscribe.
I'm not caught up, though.
Comment Mort's odd
I'm
moments
not
from
caught
the
up.
shows and give
Can't
me
lie.
a little head start. Uploads may be scarcer a tiny bit here. My confused immune system has been attacking me for 2.5 years now, but it's gotten really agitated in the past month, and it's made me too anemic and unfocused to think to my fullest. But when I get my hemoglobin out of its 7 gram per deciliter hole, I assure you, I will start critically thinking a bit better. And we'll be able to fully expose Mort as the war criminal he is. This was an establishment video, laying it all out on the table, solving the timeline, and looking at his film appearances. It only goes up from here.
Wow.
Until my next video in the coming weeks, I am the theorizer.
What a nice setup. Honestly, let's. because from the Penguin of Madagascar franchise, yeah, I've only watched part 1, part 2, the Africa one, the circus one. I can't remember bits about what happened. I don't know the storyline. I don't know the plot. Part 2, I know about I think Alex May's father or some. Then I know about Penguin of Madagascar, King Julian. All hail King Julian. I don't know anything about that. The other Penguin of Madagascar movie, I don't know anything about that. So I'm not completely caught up, but I hope I'm still going to be able to get some things and catch some things, or get the gist of this video.
Everyone viewing this, welcome to part 2. What you are watching
Okay.
right now is the second part to what could possibly end up being a 15-part series, and I will link part 1 in the
Up to
little
4
card
hours.
now. It's only 10 minutes long, and it's a decent establishment video that attempts to organize what is to come. It's a prologue, and it truly highlights some of the things that Mort has done. In the Madagascar franchise, that is. Some people thought I was making outlandish claims about him in that video and not backing it up. I want to again inform you, those were not my claims. Those were literally things Mort is in the spin-off show. He does
What?
have like 12 wives. He is a soul.
What?
He is genetically.
He likes feet pics, basically.
Some more news, though. The mystery series I will be incorporating into this, alongside my Dubois and Over the Hedge theories, might be my 8-part series on the lore of Shrek. That means the timeline theory, 4 godmother theories, 2 donkey theories, and the recent Reggie video will all be a part of this huge DreamWorks dissertation. We'll see how big this video, part 2, ends up being as well, and then we'll regroup.
So what I'm gonna do is, okay, I get it. So there's like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the video based on the parts and then do it in as a part, right? Because this is the whole chunk of it. Yep. So that's what I'm gonna do. So part 2, then the next video I'm gonna drop will be part 3.
Before we begin, I also have updated news on the Madagascar timeline. From what I understand, Penguins of Madagascar, the TV show, does come after everything in the timeline because at the end of their
Oh.
they meet up with the circus gang again in a post-credits scene I had missed.
Oh.
And friends in a Madagascar crate during the Penguins TV intro sequence, but it's likely a scheme of some sort after breaking up with Sonia. So with that said, incorporating the shorts
Who's
and
Sonia?
including the intro scenes of Madagascar 2 and Penguins, our official timeline.
I know I'm gonna
sequence
get
has
flamed because I'm not.
the Christmas caper,
I'm missing
Madagascar the
things
First,
here.
Merry Madagascar, Madagascar the Second.
Okay, the
Madagascar,
timeline.
Madagascar the Third, the Penguins movie, and yes, finally the Penguins TV show.
Okay.
Finally put a definitive and necessary close on the timeline. There seems to be an upcoming Hulu prequel show detailing the zoo gang as children, and that would be before everything, but it's irrelevant to Mort, and it's not even here yet. So now, people, do you know what time it
Okay.
is? I promised part 2 would be me detailing Mort's honor.
It's crimes, yeah. Let's go.
But I just had to watch All Hail King Julian. I had to, and I watched all 6 seasons of it.
6 seasons.
The month of May. It's why I got no updates.
Damn.
So we'll do that first and highlight
Should I watch that?
oddness in this video.
Should I watch it? I don't know. I don't know if I should watch it, but
More than just one.
I've found someone else that I love as well. Besides Alex Bill, I can't believe I've never heard about the theorizer
You can
before.
tell it's weird when this show is stranger than all of my other theories combined. It's made by different people, but it's canon still, so this will get interesting. It's basically like these writers
Okay.
are literally tempting conspiracy theorists. They load in as many offhand weird comments as possible and literally bait you into solving them. Silver platter granted to me. I swear.
Honestly, the writers are geniuses. If
What they've done
being
is
able to
crazy.
do it, yeah.
Is like if my Patrick Star theories all came true. I'm not joking.
You have a Patrick Star theory? Come on, really? I want to see that as well. Man, what rabbit's hole have I dug myself into right now? Now I want to see that one as well.
The absorber.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
It's going to devolve into a rapid bullet point format of insanity. Any qualms I had
Damn.
about just being delusional this whole time were obliterated with this show from the first moments when he tempts the Fusa with a high key dance. What this
Yeah, it was
episode
it was
does try to
twerking in front of him or something.
Julian rushes in and kicks the predators away with his dance, and Mort develops an obsession with his savior, King Julian, and the weapon of his salvation, his feet.
Feet,
It
yeah.
may not be the true root of this obsession, though. We'll see later if it's a red herring or not. Here, Mort has suspicious intentions and seems smart enough to evade death and has love for Julian. We already know all of this. The show is full of that fast-paced, lazy joke slapstick, and yet It's also wildly inappropriate and amusing at totally random moments. This will also be a review of the show in some ways. In episode 2, he
Yeah,
continues
okay.
with the inappropriate references, and in episode 3, he authors a best-selling coloring book called 50 Shades of King Julian.
Wow.
To keep a
More, you freaky like that?
voices that tell him to hide things until it's too late
Secrets or what the voices in my head say never to.
for people to stop him. In this episode, he also survives being eaten by a carnivorous flower and projectile vomiting way more than his body allows for. He is also blown up, crushed, carried away by a bird, and slammed into the ground from hundreds of feet. And again,
And he didn't die.
it's so adult. There is no way kids wouldn't pick up on this. It's so constant. In the following episode, people literally get drunk from partying, and in episode 5, the Fusa engage in a proclaimed mating ritual to create a new species. It's absolutely crazy.
What?
Evil Fanaloka named Carl, who has an intimate relationship with his purring pet cockroach. The show is self-aware, and Mort is always
What?
as a subject. The characters seem to already know he's indestructible, and they send him into dangerous situations constantly. Mort thinks Julian has exploded near the end of episode 3 and proclaims that no matter how much Julian rots, he will put him back together and they'll live with each other
Nah,
forever.
that was creepy, but I can't lie, that was creepy.
With lore as ever, the end of the episode seems to reveal that there are certain gods in the sky who respect the denizens of Madagascar. This is our first true taste of the supernatural in this show, and it might come in handy down the road. Still, we're only a few
Wow.
episodes in. This is going to drain me in the best way possible. But back to episode 4, Mort is behaving and speaking a little more intensely while doing a security check on someone. He wears a glove on his head, and it transforms him. From what I've read on the wiki, I'm fairly certain I know what this is.
What was that?
Into that later, because if I theorize now, it'll just be answered later, and the time will be wasted. Basically, though, Mort spontaneously changes personality, accent, appearance, and still notices that the feet look different today. In the
No,
fifth
don't
episode,
do that. That
he
keeps
feet
that's
onto
creepy,
Julian's
theorizer.
pleasure. Mort seems to be lucid no matter how dumb he behaves. He has slightly violent tendencies too, I've noticed, to go along with his indestructibility. He says crazy things while self-aware, proclaiming Julian and Maurice's argument as a mommy and daddy fight. But pause on Mort for a second and let's go back to those sky gods the lemurs worship. When episode 7 begins, they play a boombox and clouds roll in, seemingly confirming the existence of those deities, but I have to theorize a little bit here, bear with me. Because one episode prior, King Julian's bodyguard, Clover, goes on a vacation and she meets a very strange spiritual guru inner peace guy named Sage, who, when he heads
I'm
off to
guessing it's the one on the
and
left.
a bird carries him away into the sky. Could this little bit of oddness be tied to the sky gods? We'll need to see if this sort of thing ever shows up again, because Sage's supernatural aura can tie to these sky gods, and Mort can tie to them, thereby possibly answering some things. Because Mort and these deities
Do I
are
need
the
to
two
watch
main
this
supernatural
show?
elements of this show, from what I've seen so far. You know, aside from this lizard oracle, this show is chaotic neutral. Julian tries to fix his boombox so as to reconnect with Kevin, the god of precipitation, with the help of
That's
small
Train, I
tentacle
guess.
Timo, who claims Julian's family is inbred. Inappropriate kids show, but there is your single explanation for Julian's behavior. Inbreeding. Timo fixes the boombox with mechanical skills and becomes their scientist. He works out of a crashed USSR space pod. While he fixes the boombox to reconnect with the sky gods, Mort tries to summon rain with a song of his own and flings sticks into the sky. He suddenly screams, "Sun!" And then the sticks return stab him perfectly with maximum force. It's possible that he's an enemy of the sky gods and may not even know it. When they bring back the boombox to summon Kevin, Mort screams that the boombox is undead like a zombie and panics. You had experience with that too, Mort? In a previous episode, we saw Mort's X-ray, but
Has
a
he?
blow dryer seems to go through his mouth and out his butt real quick. So
Wait!
which is it? Normal anatomy or anomalous? When he
What
invites the
was
local
that?
oracle into his home, he has a very odd demeanor and offers her a lotion made of his own tears.
Nah, this is creepy. This is
Everyone
weird.
sort of talks to themselves and acts if they have voices and identities, but Mort, as usual, takes the cake when he gets in the bathtub with the Oracle and claims they'll be sisters forever. They borderline portray him as Annie from Misery, as creepy, as maximally self-aware as possible.
I don't know who that
They play
is.
the creepiest music as Mort disappears and then reappears with a blonde wig on and treats her like they are sisters. Something's going on here. Something tells me this is a soul the wiki had referred to, one he absorbed. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Absorbed. What does that mean?
Bullies Maurice and then joins a monarchy rebellion group who manipulates him into creating good art to convince others of rebelling. Based off of the
Oh, look at
things he's
the
drawing,
the
I'm
poster at the
pretty sure
background.
he's being
Oh,
manipulated.
that was
He
nice.
flips back and forth, eats dog meat and vomits it up. He knocks a ton of cacti over on them. He knows he's irritating them. In episode 9, he's scared, then bold, then claims he saves cake for his cheat days, and then things finally hit their stride and unravel in the season 1 finale. We're
Okay.
going through this quick, and I'm taking notes real quick. First, Maurice claims that he's just a co-star, implying he knows he's on a TV show. Then, Mort hits back with the innuendo, saying he'd love to eat the yummy King Julian. But the finale's true purpose
Pause.
me most of all, and answers many of the
Pause, man.
You see, there's this cove of wonders near their kingdom where tons of stuff washes ashore and they find coffee.
From the beach, yeah?
Julian gives it to the kingdom to improve productivity, and Mort tries chewing the coffee because he's stupid and he screeches about how he has a drinking problem. The kingdom starts losing it, and then, literally right after this show jokes about conspiracies of super intelligent Middle-earth government corruption, the most actually unexpected left field answer to all of this madness emerges from the shadows. Mort walks in with a monocle on and a British accent, claiming coffee has had a drastic effect on him, making him extremely intelligent for as long as it's in his system. I believe Mort, being this small and
What?
that much coffee, has had this crazy hypermetabolic effect that cranked him way past being hyper and basically acted as a drug unlocking his brain. I can't tell if this is just a more intelligent Mort or a new personality altogether.
Probably a new
But Smart
personality.
Mort does claim he loves King Julian just as regular Mort does. It's soon revealed that the evil Carl guy set up the coffee to take over the kingdom with caffeine addiction. Smart Mort helps save the day, claiming normal Mort is barely competent. He convinces all of Carl's guards that they should be unsatisfied with their current healthcare plan and that he can help them form a union to negotiate a working wage and retirement plan. I am not
Damn.
joking. This is
Damn.
the combination of every whack theory I've ever posted on this channel, and I'm made for this.
What kind of show is this?
Mort slowly degrades back and forth before becoming obsessed over defeat once again. The day is saved and season 1 finishes, but the show is not nearly over, and my theories are truly just now beginning. In season 2, Mort keeps being crazy and playing along with jokes, including when he spontaneously summons an organ out of thin air and says he won't explain how he did it. The second episode is one massive social commentary after another.
Julian Sparks friend. How? Does he have
Showcases
powers?
sleepiness when his voice deepens. It's so romantically disturbed. He brings
Does he
up
have
blonde
powers or
wig and then
something?
tries to make a self-aware joke by saying, "Denial isn't just a river I heard about, apparently." He
Like,
claims
it
he's
got
been
personality or
seen
something?
before. Or is this a separate wig persona?
Yeah.
Clover's sister, Crimson, and she almost gets married to Julian, who objects and claims he's having an affair by loving his kingdom more than her, causing her to book out and team up with Julian's uncle, who is trying
Ah, Julian being Julian, right?
Reason for Mort's wig here? He's the flower girl of the wedding. He behaves differently, I swear. It's not the Mort we're used to. By episode 4, things start to get weird again when King Julian is given a pineapple and tricked into believing it contains the knowledge of all kings prior, after he rips apart the beach ball of baby lemurs and tells them to go home and atrophy like normal children. What? Mort gets jealous of the pineapple's closeness to Julian and dreams of mutilating it. His worries aren't baseless, as Julian claims to spoon the pineapple at night.
Damn.
Grabs the pineapple and ties it to a chair while putting on a villainous accent and stroking his tail like a villain would stroke its cat. This is almost certainly another persona. So now we've got Smart Mort, the
Yeah.
Misery Mort, This Mort, I'll catalog it later.
3? We got 3 of them.
Share the same motivations, like
Love for
Mort has
King
influenced
Julian's
them,
and
but
his feet.
at their core, they are not our Mort. Mort hallucinates that the pineapple is sentient and mocking him. When approached about his kidnapping of the pineapple, his inner monologue panics and then suddenly his face changes, and another Mort responds to the inner monologue followed by another and another. And then one of them says, "I thought we were alone in here." They are now quite distinctly escalating forces in his head from joke status to mystery status to escape confrontation. Mort spontaneously vomits excessively before regretting the sadness he's brought to Julian by kidnapping the pineapple. He tries returning it and evades some Fusa by tempting them with his little dance again. The sky gods perform a deus ex machina and strike down the Fusa with lightning, but Julian seemingly dies in the ensuing madness and appears in limbo where the pineapple somehow friggin' how proves itself to actually be sentient, unless this is just his subconscious. Just before he reawakens, Mort claims, "You look so peaceful."
What?
"I can have his body, right?" He says it in the creepy...
Nah! Mort! Did I actually fuck with Mort when I was younger, when I was watching Penguin? I don't think I did, but Mort, chill!
Alternate accent. Who is this? Is it really Mort? Regardless of the pineapple sapiens.
I don't think that. Nah, that's another personality.
The sledgehammer. Next episode, he makes an intentionally creepy drawing of Julian, and to top it off, helps introduce money into the kingdom. He immediately becomes a loan shark who cons people within seconds. I'm not sure if his cleverness is him or another persona. He manipulates the entire population of the kingdom and creates devil deal contracts in which people sell him their souls or their babies. Again, this isn't my interpretation. This is all word for word in the show. He then promises Julian money if he sells his body to him by having Mort go on a date with his foot. What the Everyone starts dying off because he hoards the money as a tycoon, culminating when Mort says game over and reveals he thought he was playing Monopoly the whole time. Next episode, Sage comes back and we see the huge hawk again, who he claims is his spirit animal. Other than that, there is still no evidence Sage has relations with the sky gods. In the 7th episode of season 2, Mort claims he's always off in his own world before his eyes split apart.
Like he's
This is an
zoned
episode
out.
amongst rigorous political innuendo regarding Julian's ancestor, Julian the Terrible, who is later struck with lightning, presumably by the gods, before disintegrating. Crazy show. Episode
Yeah.
2 is top-tier disturbed when Mort is so desperate for Julian's love that he convinces him he's secretly been his son all along. Mort then pretends to be a baby and embraces it to the point that I think it might be yet
Another personality.
It's uncanny and bizarre. When Julian asks Clover to be the mommy, she picks up Mort and his accent changes again when he calls her hard and bony. You guys were right. This show takes years off your life. I feel my soul just reaching away. This episode ends up doing...
Yeah, I'm not
crazy
watching
stuff,
this.
including a pageant Karen named Tammy, who hypnotized her infant son, but the moral of this episode is this.
Yeah,
Mort is
she's
actually
kind of
older
bad though.
than King Julian is. We knew this before, but I want more explanation of this, and I just know I'll be getting some eventually. This show overall feels like one of those episodic comedies, but the writers have an absolutely phenomenal respect for continuity, better than some dramas I've seen. This makes it easier, deliberate, commendable. But then in episode 9, Mort inhales Julian's aged toenail clippings to track him like a bloodhound. You know, it's funny. Many times now I've made it...
Ew. Mort is that one neighbor that you keep avoiding because they're kind of obsessed in looking over at what you're doing, peeking out the window, seeing, spying on you and all that. Now, I think this is not... After this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to see more differently now.
Seconds later, it happens in the episode. Just goes to show how off the wall this really is. It is as crazy as my craziest theories. Mort attacks the guy who kidnapped Julian in this episode and literally tears apart his face until he looks thrice his initial age.
Really? Nah.
It can't even.
Are you
In
for
episode
real?
10, Julian reaches down Mort's esophagus and pulls out a live butterfly and a skeletonized human arm. In the following episode, Mort is his usual chaotic self, but we also see a monkey from the USSR who crashed on Madagascar from outer space, and he's still alive. He then returns home where the USSR flags are still in full effect, meaning Madagascar might take place in the 80s. I need more before solidifying it though. In episode 12, Mort tries out to be Julian's rebound advisor after Maurice leaves. Mort pretends to be French, then sophisticated, and then really suggestive. He licks his finger and sizzles it on his buttock. Are these more personas? Well, the snazzy one wears the same wig as the misery altar, so maybe.
Yeah.
Hard to tell as he admits he's faking it. In Julian's time of need, the pineapple's ghost reappears to him. Still unclear whether it's an advisor from the heavens, Julian's conscience, or something to do with the sky gods. I don't know. In episode 13, Mort once again pulls the mommy-daddy card on the main characters. Weird perspective. Episode 14 is relentlessly rife with religious commentary when the existence of the sky gods is finally questioned. Suddenly, one of the gods appears, but it's just a robotic ploy by Carl to kill Julian. So they build a counter-robot and Mort attacks back. Will we ever learn the truth of the supernatural? This show's having an identity crisis and it thinks it is...
I'm guessing the sky gods are just birds. I don't know why that came to my mind, but I'm guessing they're just birds.
But near the end, a massive cloud does fly down and immediately back up after raining and electrocuting, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that these gods do exist. In episode 15, Mort
I'm
I'm
wrong.
Nightclub Club Moist. He dances up on stage like a chick.
That's a Polish phrase.
Singing about how Julian's feet make him weak, and everyone applauds Mort for being so moist. They rename him to Pork because he's tender, sweet, and smoky. He celebrates by raving about how he's a non-kosher meat. He attracts lemurs from all over the kingdom when he sings about bunions. This is another personality I dare you to pull it up on Netflix and watch for yourself. Mort wishes to
I will.
used. Words from his own mouth. In the season 2 finale, Julian thinks he's dying, so Mort keeps giving him sponge baths and rectal thermometers. Onward to season 3, but be warned, everybody, this is when things start to actually get weird. What you've seen so far is literally nothing. Inappropriate messages abound about selling bodies, holes, and bloomers. The 2-part premiere follows everyone saving Julian again, who's been kidnapped by pirates this time. Mort, as per the usual, tracks with conviction so intense he eats Julian's footprints. He organizes a battle plan as if he's some sort of warlord, maybe another persona. When they find the ship, all of the other pirates recognize Mort as Dread Pirate Mort, the nemesis of this ship's captain. Last they met, they were fighting for the love of Empress Galeria off the jagged coast of Fush. He has a painting of the battle on his wall at home, and he screams, "For Galeria," before owning the other captain. Mort calls the other pirates mere children and doesn't object to the notion that he'd kill at least 5 people a day during his pirating years. Then, he shows off his true supernatural capabilities when Clover dangles Julian like a carrot on a stick above Mort, causing him to sprint on the water and drag their boat behind him. When Julian's parents return, Julian is thrilled, but the others are not, and Mort suggests they eliminate the parents and make it look like an accident. Apparently, he knows a guy. Everyone finally just asks Mort, what the hell is wrong with him? And he says a lot of stuff before splitting his eyeballs again. When they decide to focus on older hobbies, Mort claims his favorite hobby is making wigs out of stolen hair.
That's the personality.
Hobby is taking care of Julian, who's the closest family.
That's the personality.
Mort interrupts and proclaims that he's outlived all of his relatives. It's like he's flaunting his eeriness at this point. He suddenly forgets Clover even exists for a moment, and then we see into Julian's nightmare. And the second it popped up, I knew what they were doing. I just about died from throwing my body into the wall, aghast with shattered expectations.
What were they doing?
No. No, 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 no. You gotta be f***ing kidding me. What?
What? Why are you talking backwards?
What's happening?
You know, this actually makes about as much
What's
contextual
happening?
sense as the work it's based on. So this is directly parodying Twin Peaks, and just when I thought they wouldn't go
Oh,
there,
I don't
they
know this.
did
I'll
exactly
know
that.
this.
By the way, I did reverse Mort's speech, and he basically just says here, "Let's do this. From where we come from, there's always mangoes in the air." Reference to something that itself makes sense to the subconscious of maybe a sleep paralysis demon. From what we've seen, I must admit, Mort is the best one for this portrayal. A pineapple even flies by, once again pulling a leftovers by hiding whether or not this fruit spirit is just in his dreams or if it's really a spiritual mystery box. Mort later obsesses over Julian having dreams of him and calls him a lover. Julian hallucinates Mort getting eaten by a shark, and Mort somehow is aware of this. Can he read minds? Mort helps make Maurice cry just to mock his emotions. Mort brings up that guy who makes people disappear, again, on deaf ears. At this point, we've reached episode 5 of the 3rd season, and Mort's back at it with that glove that makes him aggressive. He sniffs it and laughs evilly, presumably knowing that it will summon his altar like last time.
Whose glove is that?
The fourth wall breaks than ever, and Mort severely dislocates his rib and cranks it back into place maniacally. By the way, it's revealed that there's an uprising of sentient bells that plan to reclaim Madagascar from beneath the ground. Apparently, Mort does have experience with zombies.
This is a lot to take in, guy.
Episode 6, he has a tea party with one. In episode 7, Mort romanticizes Julian again and then gets abducted by aliens after praying to the sky gods. Psychic lizard lady uses her telepathy and sees it was just some researchers tracking lemurs. They barcoded Mort. This proves that the lizard truly is magic, though, and she can read minds quite clearly, so there is some supernatural in the show. Mort sifts through every personality type we've seen yet while going through this episode. Maybe they were out researching him for his anomalous psychology. They do chip him the following night, and everyone rescues him later, learning that humans exist in the process. So yes, this episode is crucial, but I question why they wear hazmat suits in Madagascar. Mort then eats a bucket of tracking chips, of course. Everyone else hides in the bunker, and when the main characters get back and they cannot find anyone, they think all of the kingdom raptured to the sky god's heavens. The psychic lizard laments about being left behind. This show thinks it's the leftovers again. In episode 8, Mort pretends to be a butterfly so he can start a war by firing mangoes at innocents from the air.
Why?
The butterflies are all psychopaths, and we're just waiting for a reason to attack, so now they have it.
Why?
Socio-political commentary, the kill the queen happy ending, and then finally, we get the next true reveal episode. So,
Okay.
Julian wants fast food for the kingdom. Mort helps out. He claims he was born 5 years premature. His grandmother left him a huge tank of healthy food. He puts on a deep voice that sounds nothing like himself. Actual anti-falsetto head ass. It gets crazier. Way crazier. They run out of food, and Julian asks Mort to remember how they can get some more. Mort panics and screams he forgets everything his granny told him because it was 50 years ago.
So more is
Julian
50
screams,
years.
"How old are you?" And then Mort's inner voice, himself, says, "Come on, Mordecai, you can remember," before he suddenly sees his granny. She is the one with the blonde wig, from what I can best tell. He's pulling some sort of Bates Motel altar. He communes with her memories somehow. Julian slaps him and asks who he's talking to. Mort intuits the recipe for fast food and loads a bunch of discarded junk into the food tank and creates food again, but then it becomes a huge metallic black hole of sort that sucks everyone in until Clover saves them. So we know Mort's granny has some answers to the madness. I need to see more of her or Smart Mort to get some true theories going
Are
here.
we gonna
Mort
see them
wants to eat
again?
a scorpion, but his mouth won't open wide enough. He slurps it up anyways. The scorpions crawl out and he consumes them again. It's now episode 10, more political commentary. This one is really trying hard to make itself obvious. Not particularly one way or another, but the show undoes its own lessons and just mocks literally every aspect of various situations through a lens of lemurs. The jokes also have reached the point of being as edgy as Total Drama Island, but slightly more veiled. In episode 11, Mort claims he had a homeschool prom with his granny. Cue to him
Is he
making
kissing
out with
himself?
his mind. He wakes up and screams, "What year is this?" with a wig on. He references his grandmother again in episode 12, when he quotes her as saying, "Set the butterfly free, and if it gets caught in the spider web, there's gonna be a whole bunch of spider babies come springtime." He then flips upside down with a horrific grin on his face and crawls around the room cackling like an evil spider. He's beaten to near death by a huge wildebeest and is fine. He explains this, claiming he's part starfish, and that he can regenerate so well once he grew back his own head. They literally just explained part of his seeming invulnerability. They did it for me. This is, once again, like if my Patrick Star theories came to life. If he's a starfish, then he almost certainly is also part spider based on what we just saw earlier.
Yeah, we're moving around.
He's serious. Everything is appallingly true.
Honestly, I believe him too.
Again when he says, "I'll do what you want. You don't have to poke me with a stick unless you want to." He gets sucked into a reel of tape, compressing him into cassette. But he's a starfish, so that's fine. He's fine, obviously. Clover gets hurt, and she appears in the white void, where Pineapple greets her and brings her one of her deceased relatives. Clover knows Kung Fu like the panda variety, and her grandmother taught her before dying. This then clearly is Limbo. It's not all in Julian's mind, as Clover never met Pineapple. The pineapple is just the random form the king's spirits decided to take after people joked about it really being the case. It truly is supernatural. This has ramifications. Pineapple claims he made an interdimensional bet, and he fears he will lose it. We later confirm for good that this is the afterlife, and a bunch of fruits rule over it as they watch a cage fight.
So they're the sky gods.
And killed her. This just leveled up. I'm
They're the
starting
sky
to my
gods.
theories now, but I really damn think these fruits are the sky gods. Or
Yeah.
at least what Julian has interpreted as sky gods. They call heaven Frank Rila, and this is later revealed to be Frank Rila, and the Frank Rila is the sky god's heaven, etc. interpretation. Finally, in the season 3 finale, Julian wants to map all of the universe, and Mort claims he's from a planet named Futicus Majora in the far reaches of space. He could be pretending, not lying, but pretending. This is, after all, just a pretend map, and Julian says get your own solar system. But what if he's not kidding? This explains everything and nothing at the same
Why
time.
is old?
Even
Why
Mort.
is weird? Where?
In this finale, everyone builds a wall
Where?
to keep out the other species. They launch all of the Madagascar kingdoms out with a catapult, and then the various other kings all rally under a mysterious overseer that plans a revolution, revealed to be none other than Mort. Julian, in his direst time of need, sees the ghost of Pineapple, who's in rough shape because he lost his bets and he owes everyone money. Julian dismisses his advice as greeting card sentiment and walks away. Mort doesn't like leading a revolution, but I'm pretty sure another personality stepped into the job because he rallies all the kings to invade and proclaims how everyone has to go for the males first, sell the children, and, quote, "The women, oh, the women, we always treat with respect."
Why is he?
You never know what's him or his alter ego.
He, honestly.
Putting me in a tight situation. I need to cut it here because this is quite possibly the longest individual theory video I have ever posted. It might break my 25-minute limit, and I need probably 2 more. Yes, this is still all only part 2, and now it's been split into 3 sections so I can edit it all in time. I'm going to edit the next one now really quick and get it out ASAP, so absolutely subscribe and stay tuned because season 4 is easily when things become Mort's show. All of our
Subscribe,
questions
guys.
will be answered, and finally, my theories can begin to flourish. Until next time, I'm the theorizer.
Damn. Wow. 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 I honestly don't know what to say. Alright, so this is where we're gonna cut it here, and then in the next episode or in the next video we're gonna continue with part 3, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna come subsequently after this, so I'm gonna be dropping every day or after this video comes out. So yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna drop them because I am also interested to see where this all leads, because honestly I don't even know what more is right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like this reaction, like, share, subscribe, and see you guys on the next one. Peace.